In the Skylanders franchise, there's over 150 unique characters with movesets and upgrades completely original to each one of them. But only a select few have an ability to completely transform the character and their gameplay. A transformation means a profound fundamental change in form, nature, or character, not just a minor adjustment. Using this definition, we'll be looking at all the Skylanders that have an ability to transform their entire gameplay, not just their shape and size. Full gameplay transformations. I'll be breaking down exactly what the transformation does and provides to the gameplay, then depending on how positive or negative it affects the character, placing it on a tier list at the end of the video. As always, I'm Victor of Saving Skylands, and I really enjoy making Skylanders content even after all these years. And if you're watching this right now, that means you love Skylanders just as much as me, so stick around and subscribe for more. But before we get started, huge shout out to all of my channel members. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the channel and I, while always bringing positive vibes and energy to streams and comment sections. Much love. Now let's get started. Now starting us off, probably the most iconic transformation in all of Skylanders, Pop Biz. Now let's just take a look. This is how it's going to go for each of the characters. Put the character on the portal, pop up their abilities, show them off, and then jump into some gameplay and see how good it really is. So for the upgrades, for his transformation to be the best, obviously you have to go the top path. The top path, here we go. Beast form drains more slower, recharges faster, damaging enemies increases beast form meter. This is so crucial. You can stay in it practically the whole time in a lot of arenas and later levels because there's so many enemies. And then the last upgrade in beast form, press B to perform a special attack based off of which potion is active, and then you can like switch the potions here. And that's it for the upgrades. So obviously his iconic transformation, whoop, hey, let's actually do it. Where he turns into this lovely beast. I love the look of it, but let's look at some gameplay and see how good it really is. Alright, so now jumping into an arena. Everybody knows his basic, combat. He throws his potions and he switches them up. That's basically all he does. So now when he transforms, I do have the green potion on right now. We'll see. See, my meter is just not going down. Isn't that just great? Every time you damage an enemy, it just goes right back up. It's subtle, but when you get a lot of enemies close by, it's really great. Alright, let's use a little special move. So this is the green potion special move. Does a cool little spin, and then let's recharge a little bit. In arena, I don't think you ever really have to change back. But I'm going to, so I can switch the potion. Alright, so now this is the basic potion. Transform again. Let's see what we do now. I think this is the fire breath. Yeah. Pretty cool. I don't know how much damage. I need a bigger enemy to be able to see if it like repeatedly does damage. Let's recharge our meter. It's just a ton of damage really fast, which is fantastic. Okay, here. Okay, so it does. It's not just a single hit. It's not super fast, but seems to be worth it. Alright, let's transform back. Meter charges right back up. Let's change our potion. And let's see what we can do here. Alright. Now, Hafiz is probably a beast for taking out these golems because he can just run around in circles and attack super fast. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this move is a powerful... Oh, no. A powerful... Oh, no. Oh, no. It took me out of my beast form. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, so I didn't like that one a whole bunch anyways. It was like a big leap. It did a good amount of damage, like 73. But I don't think it was really worth it. But yeah, there you guys go. There's his beast mode. It's clearly incredible. And you guys will see where it places on the tier list at the end. Now next up, a Skylander that I used to just not enjoy at all, but somehow I learned how to use them, and they are fantastic, and that is Ninjini. I am using my Scarlet Ninjini because it is the best version. Alright, so let's take a look. Alright, bottom path is the way to go. It makes your bottle better. The bottle is the transformation. Completely changes the moveset. Alright, so ignore this one. Doesn't help the bottle. This one does. Bottle rockets launch faster, do more damage, and have a greater area. And then bottle is stronger, moves faster. It also has an incredible amount of armor. Like, you rarely get hit. Watch, I'll say that and then get hit a bunch. But normally, the armor is incredible. And then while inside the bottle, this is the soul gem. Hold B to put enemies in the trance, which you can shoot and do this at the same time, which is fantastic. So Ninjini's normal gameplay is her swords and her orbs. Really not great. I like the swords, but that's about it. But once you transform, you really start being excellent. And then here's the trance. Literally stuns every enemy near. Ooh, let's transfer back. It doesn't last forever. See, there's the armor. Gotta love it. It is fantastic. Especially on Nightmare mode. Go ahead and put these guys in a trance. And then you come out, and when you do like a big blast. And then, see, you come out right there, and then you're able to use your swords immediately. They work really well together. That's where a lot of these transformations are like that. The good ones, at least. I wish it lasted a little longer, but I'll take it for what it is. This review isn't going to be as long as the Pop Fizz. Pop Fizz will always be the longest, I swear, because it completely changes his moveset. There's only a few that happens. And there's the pop out. And that's all it really is for Ninjini and her transformation. It's very simple, but it is incredible. I know the damage numbers aren't insane, but for some reason, I find her to be incredible on Nightmare mode. I think it's just the fact that she's quick, and her armor is incredible in the bottle mode, and putting enemies in a trance while still doing a good amount of damage, being able to come out and use your swords again. It works all really well together. You either love her or you hate her. Sprocket. Or Robo, sure, whatever somebody named her. Alright, so Sprocket, her moves, you know, basic. You know, that's kind of all there is to it. But, let's take a look at her upgrades and where she just might get better. So here's the tank path. This is what we're going to focus on. It completely changes her gameplay. So the bottom one, now you can drop mines, which you can shoot at the same time, which is great. Now the shells explode on contact, a lot like Zook. Do a little bit more area effect and also more damage. And then when you're done using it, it explodes. Alright, so Sprocket's basic gameplay is very clunky. But luckily with the turret, it does, or with the tank, not the turret, because we're not going to focus on that. But with the tank, it helps smoothen out the gameplay a little bit. It takes a little bit to form it. Press the same button, and then you just hold down. And then you can tap and release mines. Mines do good damage as always. But you can go over here and plant some mines. Hopefully they land on them. Does okay damage. 14 isn't fantastic, but when you mix it with the mines, it's not too shabby. I have some more enemies. I'm getting bored out here. Sprocket's being too good, and my tank's gonna run out. Here, I'm curious, will the mines go away if the tank expires? Oh, they're here. I want to see the tank explode. Not bad damage. Okay, that just did 60 damage. That was pretty good. Alright, we gotta see this again. We'll do one more wave. Gotta show this off, because a character I very rarely use, so a lot of this gameplay is for like paths I don't use. Like the next up is Swarm, which I despise the Swarm path, and we're gonna use that because I had to flip his paths just for that. I had to go into Superchargers on my Wii U, which isn't even like plugged in half the time, just to switch his path. The good thing is you don't slow down when dropping mines. Is this the most fun gameplay or most efficient? Absolutely not. And then my tank's gonna explode in a second. Yeah, so really not that bad. Now here's our last giant Giants character in this video before we switch over to SWAT Force. Here is Mr. Sting, aka Swarm. If you use this path, I don't know why. Maybe it'll be great. Maybe it'll surprise me. But here it is. Swarm form is bigger and does increased damage. It basically is like this big bubble of bees, basically, and it does damage around you. It does not last long, though. While in swarm form, now you get attacks. So you get A for a giant axe, which just goes straight down, which isn't very effective. I don't know how much damage it does, though, so we'll see. And then the shockwave, which is your basic attack. And that's it. It's really nothing crazy there, but hopefully the damage numbers show otherwise. So Swarm is normally known as the fastest giant because he is, you know? Yeah, I don't even mean to do that. Okay, because he can fly around, he shoots, he does low damage, but he's fast. That's his thing. But now let's do this. Oh, look, we got a quest done. It just doesn't do a lot. And then it instantly like takes you out. It does not last long at all. It does a whole 13 damage. That's it. And this is me not using any attacks currently. So let's use an attack. Oh, hold up. We might be onto something. Okay, it does a lot of damage, people. So if you want Swarm to be a slow character that does a massive one-hit damage, or is great for chompies, this might be your path. Hold on. Buckle up, people. Now, Nightmare mode, don't see this being very great. I don't want to be held in one spot just for one hit. That isn't going to take out an enemy. But on medium mode, which is what we're just testing because that's what most people play on, it's doing pretty good. I mean, obviously chompies are no problem. So let's use the shockwave attack. Oh, okay. See, this is where it sucks me out. Okay, actually, not a bad... Okay, it causes a knockback. Doesn't do bad damage. If the form lasted longer, I think that's my biggest gripe with it. Is that it's instantly over. I get to attack, what, 1, 2, 3... 3 times. That's it. I get 3 hits. That's all I'm allowed. Alright, let's try this again. We got a bigger enemy. So let's see how we do. Alright, there's 1 hit. Alright, and then the little swarm took him out. Now on to the one and only transforming Skylander in Skylander Swap Force. Now I was going to include Smolder Dash, but I didn't because it was more of a power-up and didn't really transform any of her moves, so I didn't. But Pop Thorn is clearly one, but it's so tricky because it's so... intertwined in his kit. You can't not transform. Like, it's literally like part of his moveset. So I'm gonna try to break down both of these and just show gameplay because it all flows so good together. All right, so I went bottom path. I just like that path better. It shoots 3 of these. It's faster. It's better than just rolling forward and having a little bit more defense. But see, it's in his whole moveset though. So you puff out, and then you unpuff. I don't even know how to explain this sometimes. And then slam. Those are your 3 things. You drop mines when you're the little guy, and you do a slam when you're the big guy, but both forms shoot a main attack nice and fast. So not too much different, but still a full-on transformation. Alright, so you actually start off in the puffed out mode, which I did not know. I thought it was the reverse. So we're going to go ahead and use this. You can just hold this and stay. And then puff back out. Knockback. This also causes a knockback when you first switch. Both of them do. I don't use the mines a whole lot. I'm in this mode more times than not. See, there's that knockback right there when you switch back. So let's drop some mines. Oh, it pops them up. I did not know that. That's useful. Alright, let's pop back out. Let's just drop a bunch of mines by this dude's head. Goodbye. Now jumping into Trap Team, starting us off, we have Bat Spin. Bat Spin is actually incredible and also really easy to use. Both paths, but I do like the ranged path better. But for this video, I had to switch her over. So this is the normal path up here, more ranged, which is perfect for Trap Team. Short range just doesn't go well. But for the bottom path, you get more bat form, which here you get to transform into a giant bat. You get to press square to bite, circle to screech. So now the screech does more damage and powers up the pet bats, which are basically little minions that stick by your side the entire time. More pet bats fly with you and have additional powers. Fantastic. And in bat form, every time you bite, 3 additional bats come out, which is fantastic. So now you don't have to spawn the bats before turning into bat form. So Bat Spin's normal attacks are her ranged move right here. And then she can spin all the bats around, doing lots of good damage. But now we're going to transform into our lovely bat little friend. And hopefully stay as them for a little while. See? And then everybody attacks at once, do a little screech. But you just have to be so close that you're forced to kind of get hit. So I don't know if she has an increased armor stat when she's in this mode, but they're definitely going to need it. She doesn't do an incredible amount of damage. She was doing it on the training dummies, but training dummies are not accurate. Alright, come on. See, they're all flying around with me. You charge them up. Just like Giants, we are on medium difficulty. It's balanced gameplay. You can go ahead and scream. See, everybody's attacking, which is great. So, I mean, I can't mentally, add all those numbers up all at once. But it seems like a good amount. And also, I think the bat form lasts forever. I've yet to be taken out of it other than when I just completed a phase. So just bite, see it spawns, scream, powers them up, they start doing more damage. It's like 16. When they're powered up, it's like 32 per hit. If it wasn't for these mines, I wouldn't be getting hit as much. Now on to one of the most iconic Trap Masters, Wildfire. Or Rar, I guess. Alright, so his main attacks are obviously, as everybody knows, it's his amazing, powerful combos, the move that pulls everybody in just so you can use them again. I don't even know what is this move? Oh, Fire Breath, right, the thing nobody uses. Alright, so let's look at his upgrades, and I'll show you his transformation, which a lot of people forget about. I did for a long time, because it's only his soul gem. You use his heat shield mode, which is right there. I mean, that's the upgrade for it. And then you press square again to turn into a fire lion. Now, I feel like a lot of people forget about this because it only lasts maybe 10 seconds max. And there's actually 2 abilities for it, which a lot of people don't, like myself, forget because you don't really get the time to use them. Alright, so as I was just saying, Wildfire's main attacks are obviously super powerful, so you really have no need for this transformation. I'm going to be 100% with you guys. But if you would like to use it, you hold down your main attack, and then press. Whoop. Sometimes it decides to work. Now you become this big old lion, and you get these swipes. If I have more enemies on and then it's instantly over. Hold on. Let me get rid of these guys up here. See, it's kind of tricky. Hold on. I gotta show them off. So this is the secondary move. It's a big slam, does an and I'm already done! I'm already done being a big old lion! One hit. That's all you get to do. Oh, so I'm stuck. Okay. Alright. Swipe, 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 swipe. As much as I can before it runs out, which is then. If you could stay in this form a little bit longer, it would be so much more worth it. And it would be an incredible move. That would add to his moveset, because I don't think he's the most fun, but if this was to last longer, then it would have been so much better. See, hold on. Do I really only get 1 hit with this? Okay, no. Okay, almost. That's crazy. Why put this much time into a character with a move like that, just for it to be taken away after a few seconds? Now, this is the last of Trap Team, and you're like, hey, you already showed Pop Fizz. What's different about this one? Well, let me show you. If you drink a potion normally, you're just, normal Pop Fizz, like you were in Giants. So, like I already showed off, meter resets, all that fun stuff. But what's special about Fizzy Frenzy is he has a Wow Pow, and his Wow Pow makes him even bigger and even more powerful with overloaded attacks. So I'm going to stay in this area and kind of compare, because it gets a little crazy when you try to do this with enemies. So we're going to compare the damage between normal beast mode and this overloaded beast mode, whatever it's called, and see if it's really worth it to down all that potion. So let's just down some normal potion. Alright, so this is normal beast mode. So we got 72 damage a hit, and we're attacking nice and fast. And then Fire Breath is 129. So let's transfer back, then tap the button instead, and you become way bigger, almost giant-sized. Instead of 72, you do 90 with a crit of 135. So I don't know what the crit was for the normal, but 90 versus 72, not a big increase. And then the Fire Breath, 161. What was it, 125? That's really underwhelming for how much bigger you are. Also, you are incredibly slow. This is as fast as you go. But when you start walking, this is how slow it is. And then you finally get to trudge through. Alright, so let's switch a potion real quick. And then let's go oversized again. Alright, what am I going to do? A whole, 200, 10, does it say 108 or 188? Whoa, what was that? Okay, 40. But 40, where did the 100 come from? 194. I think it's just because I'm right on top of it. Okay. It's just so big and clunky that I just don't think it's worth it. We're going to use it in real combat, And we're gonna see how it is. Hold on, let me do one more. The last potion. Now this is the spin, isn't it? Yeah. It just does the 90 damage again. You could have just attacked normally. The good thing about Fizzy Frenzy is as soon as you put him on the portal, he actually is the largest he could be. So I had to reduce his size to just show him growing again. But he is so slow. Like, I can't even get to the enemies. There, let's use the fire breath a little bit. He is just so incredibly slow when normal beast mode is actually decently quick. Like, that's the whole deal. Like, he's quick and powerful. That's why, like, that mode's so incredible. He can still jump, which is fantastic. A lot of moves that usually make you, like, enhance your abilities, make you slow and clunky. See if we can recharge our meter before it resets. Probably not. Are you alive? You're not gonna be. Oh, no! Now I gotta wait for it to reset. Yeah, okay, let's switch to the normal. Here, let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm much faster. Also, I like zoom to the enemies. Yeah, no, I'm saying it right now. This Wow Pow is not worth it to use, ever. I think the only time people will use this is when they first put Pop Fizz on the portal and he automatically becomes the giant beast. Now that we're in Skylanders Superchargers, we have a few here as well. Welcome back, Pop Fizz, for the third time in this video. Can you be any more complicated? Yes, he can. He is more complicated than ever in this one, and also more crucial than ever to go the beast path if you want to use the beast mode, because on this path, which is the path I had him on, beast mode was terrible. I was about to just rant on how bad it was, and then I switched, completely changed my mind. Okay, so same as usual, when you change into beast mode, depending on the potion, you get your special attacks. But if you go top path, it's like a single hit. But if you unlock this ability right here, they go back kind of to the way they were in the original Pop Fizzes. So like his fire breath lasts forever. Well, he kind of has the equivalent thing. Instead of a fire breath, it's like a burp. I'll show you guys. But they just last almost forever now. Versus on this path, they were like a single hit. All right, so we are now in Battle Brawl Island. So using his just normal attack, we're going to transform. Oh, no, we're not. Hold on, we got to switch back. All right, so we're going to switch to his beast mode. That's his transformation right there. Here's his little slam. I should say big slam because it's pretty cool. I wish it did more damage. Alright, so let's use the beast mode attacks. The special attacks. Just 30 damage bouncing all over the place. I don't know. It's nothing impressive to me. So let's switch back and change. Oh, okay. Oh, hold on. Ah! This is the spinny one. I guess it does a good amount of damage over time? Maybe? I don't think it does a good amount of damage, but it's doing damage over time. Okay, see there, that's when it slowed down. This is definitely the worst of the bunch. Alright, let's switch back. Switch the potion. Alright, can you guys come back down now? I'm trying to show off my last move here. There we go. Okay, here. This one's probably the best for damage. Grab some num right there. Ooh, I can't see anything. Can I hit both of them at once? Ooh, there we go. Okay, so I mean, I don't know. He's definitely a downgrade from previous Pop Fizz variations, but he's very usable. Here, and there's no meter. You could be beast mode forever, which is really delightful. Next up, one of the two crossover characters from the lovely Nintendo. That's why I'm playing this on the Wii U. Donkey Kong. Now, I am still in Battle Brawl Island, so I'm going to quickly go to the upgrades. Okay, so you have his normal punches, you have his throws, and you have his bongos. And then this is the Super Donkey Kong mode, where you can press X to stomp and A to do a barrel roll. Normal attack, tap X in Super Donkey Kong mode, that's a mouthful, to cause ladders and girders to fall from the sky. I think that's what this is. Okay, bottom path is the path you want to go if you do like the Super Donkey Kong mode. Tapping will throw spiky barrels. Also, Super Donkey Kong will throw spiked barrels. Press A while being Super Donkey Kong to roll over enemies and regenerate health while in Super Donkey Kong mode. So his normal attacks, you know, his punches, his throws, and his bongos. Okay, we need him to come down. Come on down. Okay, so we're gonna hold this, become Super Donkey Kong. And I don't know what's so super about it because he's really not doing a lot of damage. Oh, that was cool. Hold up. It actually shoots like a projectile out. Whoa, stop that. Oh, hold on, I need more enemies. I say that in the nicest way possible. I wish this caused a knockback. And it doesn't. It does more damage than the punches. How does that make any sense? Come on down here. I don't know. It just doesn't seem worth it. Dang, these Superchargers transformations are letting me down. No. 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 Hold on. Okay, let's switch. Okay, there we go. I don't know. I like the barrel roll move. I really do. I like how it shoots a projectile, and also it's a melee move as well. It's kind of speed. But if this... I don't know. If it did more damage, I'd be more happy with it. And the last Supercharger, we have the second crossover character, Bowser. One of my favorite Superchargers. I don't know if it's just nostalgia or he's actually fantastic, but... Here he, you know, normal moves, pretty good slams, and they're fast. But this is the mode I love. But without it, you get to have these little Koopas. You can hit them all around, but when you change, they change. Now you got like dry bones instead of the little Koopas. And bottom path is where it gets a lot better. The second one, enter Molten Bowser mode, causing an explosion, massive damage to enemies around you. And then this move right here, it's my favorite move, probably in the entire game, is just Fire Breath. It's amazing. It lasts forever. It melts chaos like nothing. So here you change, and there's your Fire Breath. It's just great, and it's so much fun to use. And he's one of the few transformations where it doesn't make you slower. You would expect him to be as slow as like the Fizzy Frenzy Pop Fizz in Trap Team, but no, he moves just as fast. Alright, so yes, we are going to face Chaos with Bowser, just so I can show you how much fun he is. Alright, so I'm just going to change instantly and just avoid all these little things. And then just stand here. Look at the health bar. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? Sure, it's not like super fun, complex gameplay. I mean, honestly, it is fun for me. I don't know. I think it's because it's so simple, it's fun. Don't worry, I'm going to show off the swipes too, but I just can't ignore this. Oh, where's the one with the crown? You. You can just stay in this mode too. It's pretty great. It's simple and sweet. The swipes are a little slow, but that's how like Superchargers is. I feel like in Superchargers, all melee moves are kind of clunky. Like, that's kind of a Vicarious Visions kind of thing, I feel. He's just incredible. He's just so much fun. And he doesn't stop, like, shooting when he gets hit. He just keeps going. And then you just stand here. It makes it so easy. Look at the health bar. Goodbye, Chaos. Wait, is this actually the end? Oh my goodness. I'm on hard difficulty, too. Now jumping into Imaginators, the final game in the Skylanders franchise, we do have a few Skylanders that have transformations. One of them being the iconic Golden Queen. So let's take a look at her abilities and what makes her transform. So her normal abilities are her ranged abilities, she gets her little minion, and then her slam on the ground. Does not matter what path you go, because it's the soul gem that allows her to transform. So you're going to hold circle to transform into the giant queen, as we saw in Trap Team. Press square to smash the ground, and triangle to shoot eye lasers. Alright, so now that we're in the surprise attack, here are her main abilities, you know, the normal, and then she spawns a little guy that helps you out. But we're going to use this move where you hold it, you go plop into the ground, and then wow, almost 300, you are so slow though. It's a knockback on every hit for medium enemies. Whoa, this is actually really fun. Oh shoot, I transferred out of it. But you can go right back into it, I think. Yeah, that's perfect. Now, they can't reach me from back here. Okay, the laser does 90, so nothing crazy there. I wonder if I have, like, really increased armor. Alright, let's see if I can get out of here alive. Okay, I'm almost as slow as this guy. Alright, so I was actually really surprised by her move, so we're actually going to jump into Arena and test it out. See, it freezes enemies, or turns them to gold when you turn into it, which is perfect because you're super slow, so everybody around you... Okay, there, let's just shoot. Oh, we got hit by a Chompy. We got hit by another Chompy. Okay, the Chompies are too small. I'm swinging over top of them. There we go. Okay, 90 damage ain't bad. I would never really use it, though. We're gonna see how long we can survive like this. I mean, 295 is incredible. It is a nice little surprise. Oh, I'm gonna die. Good thing we got a good look at it. Now on to Tidepool, who has a little kind of hidden transformation because nobody uses it because it's so useless. Alright, so our main moves, you know, shooty, 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 you know. And then you throw a squid, you call a little whale. But there's an upgrade, which is a very interesting choice. And it is this. Hold to enter a defensive shell met mode. While in shell met, press square, you know, shapes, to charge forward. It is so underwhelming, and I don't know why it's an ability, I'm gonna be honest. So our normal abilities are, you know, the shooting and, you know, throwing other objects. But you can do this for whatever reason. This is a thing, and you do a whole, what did that say, 68 damage? There's nothing else you do, by the way. This is it. You're not even, like, faster, really? Like, I feel like you could just walk just as fast. And you're not invincible. It's not like Ninjini's bottle. You can't jump, because then you're out of it. It is so weird. It's got to be one of the weirdest upgrades. That's going to be another video right there. Most useless upgrades in Skylanders history. Let me know if you guys want to see that, because this just might be there. And our last Skylander transformation, Wildstorm. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I think this transformation is extremely overrated because you do less damage than you would with your sword anyways, and you're even slower, so I really don't understand the purpose. But main attack, you know, 124, you know, great as always, and then your pushback, and then your lightning. But if you jump, press triangle, you turn into the beast. 96 damage, so you're doing less damage. I know it's hitting twice, but sometimes it only hits once. Sometimes you only get one claw to hit, and then you're doing 96. But still, that's not like a huge upgrade, you know? So here's your beast mode. Jump and press triangle to transform into the wild beast. Press square and circle to attack, or triangle to transform back to normal. So one really weird thing about this is that when you are in beast mode, no matter which attack you use, they do the same damage. Watch. Those are two different attacks. They just did the same amount of damage. Now, I do think this one causes a knockback, but I'm not positive. We are going to go test it out on this little innocent bird. And then we are so slow. I know you can swipe to be... I got hit by one of those birds. That's just sad. And you guys know me by now. I do not like slow Skylanders. Or really ranged Skylanders. It's just not my gameplay. Okay. Let's try our best to not get hit. I don't know. It's just not worth it to me. I don't understand. Yes, okay. It does cause a knockback. This is a pushback, the main move. And then we're out of it again. Okay. It does last a good amount of time. It's much better than, you know, like Wildfires. You got Wildfire and Wildstorm. I actually like Wildfires better. But I like, obviously, how long this one lasts. I wish it did more damage. I think it's severely underwhelming. When Golden Queen can transform and be slow and do 225 damage or something like that per hit, and he's doing 96, I don't know, it's just not worth it to me. Okay, so now that we have reviewed all of these Skylanders transformation gameplays, it is time to throw them in this tier list based off of where I think, I don't know, their effectiveness and just usefulness is. So we're gonna start with Batspin. Batspin's was good. Like I said earlier, I just think she'd be better as a Swap Force or a Giants character. But it's not a bad transformation. It does make her worse, but it's not bad. So I will put her in B. Next is Bowser. You guys know I love this one, but the damage numbers aren't insanely high. And being all almost melee, I know the fire breath is technically ranged, but it's not that far. So I'm going to put him in high A. Now to Donkey Kong, I really don't like this. I like the barrel roll, but the damage numbers for anything he was doing in Super Donkey Kong mode just wasn't worth it. I would rather go the ranged path and never use this upgrade ever. Golden Queens was a pleasant surprise. She did a ton of damage with her like punches, slams, things. The eye lasers were fine. 90 damage is still great, but like 225 for each slam was magnificent. But making her so slow is really tough, and unless you're only playing on medium or easy, being that slow is really going to hurt you. But this is judging based off of medium difficulty, so I guess we'll probably put her at very low B. Now, Ninjini, I can't believe Ninjini is going into S tier. You asked me this 2 years ago, I would have never placed her this high for anything. But the bottle mode is fantastic. I have a newfound love for Ninjini's gameplay because of the bottle and how good it really is. Now, regular Pop Fizz from Skylanders Giants, obviously iconic, elite, for a good reason. He is magnificent. He's probably one of the most diverse characters. No matter what path you go, he is going to be amazing. Now, Supercharger Pop Fizz, Big Bubble Pop Fizz, I did not care for at all. I actually really like his ranged moves for this figure, but the beast mode isn't useless. It's just not very good. So I'm just gonna put probably low C. Now, the third and final Pop Fizz, Fizzy Frenzy Pop Fizz, other than when you first put him on the portal and he gets thrown into the game, I can't see using this Soul Gem, or not Soul Gem, Wow Pow. It's just not worth it. You're extremely slow. The damage boost isn't even really a damage boost because you're hitting slower when your normal beast mode could have done more damage within that span of time. So still low C. Popthorn. Popthorn is elite and probably has the best transformation on this entire list, just based off of how intricate his entire moveset is. Like, you need to use them both to be successful with Popthorn. If you didn't ever transform into popped or unpopped or whatever you want to call it, he'd probably be a very boring character. But since he does that and completely changes like his looks and his moves, he's elite. I love Popthorn. Now Sprocket. Sprocket really surprised me, and I'm actually really looking forward to maybe streaming sometime and trying Sprocket out some more. Maybe I can finally start liking Sprocket if I use her tank move more. I'm actually going to put it... No, Batspin, go over there. I'm going to put it in a high B. Now, Swarm also surprised me. It's not magnificent, but it's not useless, so I'm going to go high C. Speaking of useless, Tide Pools is so forgetful. Why is this a thing? Get down there. Wildfires is tricky because it is amazing. Great damage, but it doesn't last at all, and I think that's the worst part, so you never end up using it. Never. And also your combos could have done more damage faster. So there's really no purpose, but it's really cool. It's just useless. And lastly, Wildstorm. I do think it's the most overrated beast mode, but it's not useless. It's still good. It has a purpose. And I'm going to put it somewhere around here. I don't know. I think Sprockets is better in her respective game than Wildstorm's is in Imaginators. So I'm going to put it in middle of B. So there is the tier list. That is where I rank the transformations based off of usefulness and just how good they actually are. Now that wraps up this video. Make sure to comment your favorite Skylanders that have the ability to transform. Also, if you enjoyed the video and want more, leave me a like and consider subscribing. As always, keep saving Skylands, and I will see you guys soon.